Okay, this is week 15 Degas, and we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We're just going to use typing paper because this worked for our community last year, or 3 years ago. So this is the man, this is the ballerina. I've already taped my paper onto her, and I've already traced her, so you don't have to see that part. I will say, before you let the kids untape it, make sure that they lift it and see that they got all of her. So there she is, and I got all of her. So I'm going to go ahead and untape her, and I'm going to bring her over to my work area. And I've got my chalk pastels. I'm just going to use this rag, but there will be baby wipes for them. And then hairspray to set the picture. So we're going to just use chalk pastels for her. And if they're doing the man, they're going to use chalk pastels for him. And we're just going to not worry about color specifics, but I just want to kind of show you some of the stuff you can do. So chalk pastels are very messy, and they're going to be tempted to want to blow this stuff all over the place. And to be honest, you kind of almost have to, or else it gets... But you can do shading really well with this. It's just, I love chalk pastels. They're messy, but they are beautiful. So I'm kind of making where the gathered material would be, which is around the waist. I'm kind of making it a little bit darker. And then I'm just kind of going through and where these little creases are, make it a little bit darker. And then, so what they're going to want to do, so let's say I was using that and maybe this other green together. So they can kind of go through and do some different things. They're going to need to get their fingers messy with this. So they can take their hand now and kind of go through, and they're going to want to be slow around the edges because you don't want it to get out of the lines. But if you do, you can actually take a baby wipe, and if you don't wipe too hard, kind of fold it up in a little corner, make it a little corner, and then just kind of wipe off the part. And it actually gets the chalk off easily. You just don't want to get the paper too wet because it is paper and it will get a hole in it. So this is a technique they can do. Shading with the chalk pastels. Like I said, chalk pastels are a lot of fun, but they are a lot of mess. And so you're going to want to let them know, don't blow off, because you want those little, until they're completely done with the section, don't blow it off because you want those little tidbits. So that's like an example of what her skirt looks like. And now that I'm done, I'm going to dry my hands. And I would go ahead and do her bodice too. They're going to probably want to use their pinky. I have not tried a Q-tip for blending colors, but for these smaller areas, a Q-tip might actually be preferable than their fingers, because like I said, when you get out of the lines, it's kind of... So I'm going to try that finger right there. So what's going to be fun about these is because they're going to have to share a set of chalk pastels, they're not all going to be able to use the same color. So the ballerinas are going to have different colored dresses. Now for her ribbon, I'm probably just going to stick with one color. I might add some white in or something to kind of give it a little shading. She doesn't have a ribbon in her hair. Maybe her little ballet ribbons are purple too. I don't even know if that's a thing. Her shoe ribbons is what I meant. So they're going to kind of go in and fill that in. Now, I would not recommend going back with the Sharpie because to me this is so soft and beautiful looking. But if you're one that likes the definition of a Sharpie, you can, after you're done, you can go back in with the Sharpie. I'm going to go real light on the peach for her skin, her flesh color, because I'm going to shade it and I don't want it to be too unnatural looking. I'm kind of doing her. And then I guess since I made her ballet ribbons purple, I think there may have supposed to have been a foot loop there. I'll go ahead and make her shoes purple too. I don't know if that's how that works, but I think it is. That may look kind of silly. They may need to all stick with pink shoes. I don't know. Okay, so the only thing left to do would be her hair. And I think this is a brown color. Yeah, kind of a lighter brown. Could even mix a little yellow in with that and make it again, you can shade and tweak and it ends up being so beautiful. I love chalk pastels. All right, now, since I didn't take too much time, they can go through if they want and do something with the background, you know, something light. Maybe she's, maybe this is the bar and this is the floor. I don't know, maybe the bar is blue. I think it's black. I think it's supposed to be black. She's at a fancy ballet studio and they have blue bars. And yeah, they can kind of do some background stuff if they want. When we're all done, we're going to take it out. You're probably be best to bring a box, but I'm going to take it out because I don't have a box. And we're going to set it with hairspray. So just come out and just a few. This worked last time. And it kind of dries, but it shows up wet. But I'll have the finished product dried, and you'll get to see that the hairspray ends up drying. And you don't want too much because it'll cause the chalk to spread. But just mist it a few times, and that should be good.